So maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but the reality of forgetting a pad or tampon during a period is something that thousands of students at the University of Alberta can relate to. Menstrual products are considered a basic human right, but if you forget to bring one, being able to find a pad or tampon when needed isn't always easy or affordable.
Tampons and pads are necessities for women around the world, but for many, it's a struggle to pay for them.
They're expensive products. If you're not a woman, you probably don't know that, but they are pretty expensive.
A lack of menstrual hygiene products is a major problem for women and girls. It keeps them out of school, keeps them at home.
None of the dispensers in the area were working. Remove the stigma associated with a natural bodily function, menstruation.
Menstruation is one of the most natural things in the world, and actually it's part of our remarkable reproductive system. I mean, it's really sort of amazing that our bodies go through a cycle of fertility, and we should stop making it a kind of a taboo. It's not a taboo, it's just normality.
There are more than 38,000 students at the U of A. 55% of them identify as female. Given that the majority menstruate, meaning that they get their periods every 21 to 35 days, that's 20,000 periods every month. And that doesn't even include faculty and staff. Of 130 students we surveyed, 82% said they directly know someone who has been inconvenienced by the lack of access to menstrual products on campus. We also asked a few students about their experience for getting a pad or tampon on campus.
Yes, I have, and it is not a very pleasant feeling.
Scary. Yes. I was in panic because it was pretty embarrassing.
Yes, I have.
The surveys and interviews showed us that this issue is relevant but under-addressed. There had to be somewhere on campus you could get tampons or pads, right?
The clinic. If you have a clinic, yeah, it's there.
I think I've just asked friends, like texting friends, and like, where are you? Are you on campus? Or like asking them to drive me somewhere and get some.
That's a good question. I've never thought of that. Maybe, what's the store and sub? Does the store and sub carry? I would think maybe the store and sub.
There's a pharmacy, right in sub, yeah.
I would assume that.
We decided to test how long it might take for a student to get from a classroom to an on-campus store to buy tampons. The entire trip took around 20 minutes to get to the store and back and cost about $8. As it turns out, there are no functioning dispensers on campus. The service was decommissioned in the 1980s, and many people we talked to weren't exactly sure why the dispensers were removed in the first place. We asked Kevin Frise, Assistant Dean of Health and Wellness, to share more.
I would expect it had to do either with demand for those products within our community and or the cost of upkeep and maintenance of the machine. I think anytime there's a demonstrated need or demand for a service or for supports or resources, that's coming from the community, I think the university is always open to looking at considering what that need might be.
We asked students what they thought about the lack of dispensers for menstrual products across the U of A washrooms.
I don't think that's right. I think there should be something to do with that. I didn't know about that until you told me.
Considering the amount of product that the university supply, some of them are really not necessary. It's something that should be one of the priorities.
It's not fair that the tampon machines don't work.
Hard, I guess, difficult. I don't really know where to go.
Students come here for one reason, and that's to really get a quality education. And for us to not be able to provide them with the means to do so is really problematic.
There has to be a solution to this. What are other post-secondary institutions doing? Back in 2016, McGills successfully implemented an initiative to provide free tampons and pads to students, staff, and faculty. The cost? 90 cents paid per student. Muna walked us through how the initiative got started and how it's been going so far.
Last year, the president as well as the VP Student Life decided to bring about a motion and then bring about a fee to make sure that menstrual hygiene products could be a thing at McGill. And then that fee unanimously passed. But now, since the fee has passed, it has been pretty much accepted, and Like a lot of the faculties want their building to be the next one on the map to be like stocked with dispensers and products. So like, there's a lot of excitement. My message would be to go forward because I think it's a very important initiative. It's a shame that Canadian campuses aren't kind of fully all behind, especially since kind of our American counterparts have had that for quite some time. So like Brown and Harvard have it in most of their washrooms. So it would be nice to see our kind of Canadian unions step up and make sure that all those students have access to menstrual hygiene products on campus.
We also spoke to Hilary Jahelka. She's the Student Union Vice President of Student Life at the University of Calgary, who, in 2017, started a pilot to provide free menstrual products to its students.
It's affordable for us to do. It's about accessibility for students on campus. I think anyone who gets a period can relate to being like, oh no, I need a tampon or I need a pad now. Why don't we hand out free period products? We hand out free condoms. Like literally every student coming in on social media was like so excited. We had students coming in during like OWIC saying this is the best students union ever. This is the best program ever. This is so amazing.
What if we brought a similar initiative to the U of A? We asked students if they would be willing to pay a small fee, less than $1 with their tuition to provide this service.
I think $1 is like pretty insignificant when you're already paying a couple grand. So.
Yeah, I think if it's under $5, I don't see any problem with it. Like,
I think it would be a great idea to have a fund for that.
We really need it. I know when it's an emergency or something like that, we really need it.
Next up, we asked members of the student union what it would take to make tampons and pads easily accessible at the U of A.
So any student can work with the Office of Discover Governance, which is a students' union department, or students' council to create a petition. A petition is something that would go on a ballot during the normal executive and board of governors elections, and students would have the option to vote either yes or no if they wanted to pay a certain amount of money every year to support a certain cause. So if there was a student group or even an individual student who would like to move forward with the petition process to make feminine hygiene products more available on campus, that is something so they can certainly work with the students' union to move forward with.
Moving forward, we want to make a difference. Affordable and convenient access to menstrual products is not a luxury, it's a fundamental necessity. We propose a solution to provide free tampons and pads across campus by asking students to contribute a small fee of under $1 each semester to fund this initiative. Please join us in making this a reality for thousands of students at the U of A by signing our petition. Visit bit.do /UofAPeriods to add your name. Because everyone deserves convenient and affordable access to menstrual products. Period.